Yeah, good day.
I call Mariameno.
Tēnā koe. Madam Speaker, so I stand to address the Oranga Tamariki repeal of culture, repeal of custom, repeal of safety, repeal of protections and prosperity bill, soon to be lauded over all mokopuna and their whānau by a government and their spokesperson who knows nothing about Māori culture. Culture not only keeps mokopuna safe, culture enables mokopuna to thrive, to flourish and to grow into fully expressed Indigenous Māori individuals, exactly like the thousands that gathered peacefully and powerfully on the steps of Parliament to remind us that they are here and they are not going away. In August of 1840, just 7 months after the signing of Te Tiriti o Waitangi, Madam Speaker, our very first tupuna was removed as a baby by colonial hands. The justification of this, listen up people, to save a Maori baby from the so-called evils of the pā, the evils of our people. This is your and our shared history. This act that has set the tone for generations was at that time summarised by one simple term, uplift, a word coined by the coloniser to mask their statutory act of thievery. 184 years later, no surprises, that word still stains Māori lives. The coloniser continues to use it to describe the theft of our children, a term that absolves them of accountability and then allows them to maintain the presumption that Māori are so inferior that we can simply be taken. This repeal affirms exactly that. Our children can be uplifted from their whānau without legislated accountability of the Chief Executive for Oranga Tamariki. I'll say the word Oranga Tamariki because I keep hearing it. It's so poorly pronounced, to ensure these Māori children.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
I don't blame this law.
Relevant to the bill that's in hand. It's not about uplift.
Blah, blah. Right. This respect affirms exactly that. Our children can be uplifted. They can be removed legislated accountability of the Chief Executive Oranga Tamariki. These Māori children remain within the safety of their Māoritanga, a safety that was recognised under Section 7AA. Through the Committee of the Whole House, the Minister volunteered her own story as if that would sanction this outcome. Sadly, all that showed us was how deep internalised racism runs and the harm it can cause. I offered that she do some work to get well. This racist rhetoric is destructive, unhealed trauma, masquerading as care and protection. Clearly, the apology and crocodile tears from the Minister to the survivors of abuse and care was more fake news, and within the same week.
Point of order, the Honourable Chris Pink.
Madam Speaker, I hesitate to interrupt the member, but it's clear breach of standing orders, apart from anything else, to imply or actually suggest in outright terms crocodile tears and fake news, as though to bring into question the integrity and the honesty of the member in bringing forward policy. And that's before even we consider the offensiveness of a diagnosis of a medical basis by that member.
I understand the point of order. The member is correct, so I'll ask the member to resume, but to tone it down, please. Speaking to the point of order, Rawiri Waititi.
Madam Speaker, every day we hear that coming from the opposition, from the government, and in particular the Deputy Prime Minister, where he talks about other members having their tongues flapping around in the wind and all of that type of stuff. That has never been pulled up. It's double standards and it's hypocrisy.
We're going to resume, and we're going to treat each other with respect. Thank you, member.
Apology and tears to the survivors of abuse and care is more fake news. And because at the same time, of course, the same bill...
I just warn the member, we have just been...
Sorry, Madam Speaker. I didn't name a particular individual. I was just making it a generic statement.
I just warn the member, we're getting very close to being disorderly.
This is nothing more or less than a direct attack and direct assault on our mokopuna and on us all for being Māori. As was stated back in 1840, and here we are again in 2025, referring to the evils of our people. I have chosen to take this bill very personally. How could I not? I challenge every Māori in this whare and every non-Māori and part Māori, because I've heard that recently, that are responsible to and for mokopuna tamariki Māori to check your privilege, to check your fragility, to check your white tears, to check your racism and to check your sexism and misogyny, and get some counselling and education and free your mind. This is what happens when you internalise the racism and thanks the oppressor for the experience. All that's missing in this bill is a clause saying, thank you, Massa. Te Pāti Māori condemns this bill and all its intent. Tēnā tātou. You're welcome. Swallow that.
You know, I think it's really unfair when she's talking about the crocodile tears and then getting pulled up on it, but then we're talking about these made-up fantasy reports, and that can't be brought up. You know what I mean? So, I mean, let's get real with it as well. And for me, look, participation, partnership, and protection. Why is it that you don't want partnership? Why is it that you don't want participation? Because you don't want anybody seeing or doing or having any knowledge of really what's going on there.
Yeah.
Mariameno sass, it lives rent-free in my head. I love that.
I love how you've changed your name.
Yeah, no, she's not a part of the club. She's not a part of the club. I mean, we had this discussion with Camilla Ballard. She's like, her sister's name's Laura. I'm Laura. McClure is not a part of the club. I don't own her.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to our Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, News Guide, The Order Paper Podcast. YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok.